comes to Joel. Nurkic on him. 5 seconds to go.
There you go.
Embiid driving, spinning, fading, hitting! 1.1 to go! Absolutely unstoppable.
Joel Embiid has had a phenomenal 3-year run. The crazy thing is, the brother ain't won no All-NBAs, no MVPs. He's got no hardware to show for it. This dude in 22-23 has taken his game to the next level. Joel Embiid is right there in the thick of things, as close as he's ever been for his first Most Valuable Player award. If you just so happen to miss most of Joel Embiid's season, I promise you missed a special one. I want to show you some highlights from games in which Joel Embiid, either on the defensive end of the court, on the offensive end of the court, or in my Shannon Sharp voice, both of them, where Joel Embiid was just spectacular, leading his Philadelphia 76ers to wins or close games. All right, let's tap in. Two of the game's greatest centers set to do battle. It's Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in Philadelphia to take on Joel Embiid, the all-star start-less center of the Philadelphia 76ers. And boy, did Embiid give it to Denver in this one. Embiid and Jokic exchanged buckets early, and then Embiid took this dance from there. A 13-point first quarter for Embiid, although his Sixers trailed by 9 after 1. Second quarter belonged to the Nuggets. Jamal Murray on the baseline fading away. And then, check it out, it's Jokic for 3. Michael Porter Jr. is like, if he's got the hot hand, maybe I got it too, going glass. And then Jamal Murray going and getting him a deuce the hard way. Look at Murray catch the rock underneath the rim somehow, some way for his team. Murray made a play. Nuggets up big at the half. Third quarter, Embiid says, this is my game. How about Harden, one of his 13 dimes inside to Embiid? Probably a good idea to give that man the basketball. Philly making a comeback, but they got to deal with MPJ, who goes and 1. And then back to the matchup amongst bigs is Embiid crossing up Jokic, blowing past him, and reversing at the rim. These dudes are too big to be able to move like the way they can. How about this dime from Jokic? Inside, he had 9 assists, 8 boards, and 24 points. Normally good enough, but in this one, not near good enough because Embiid was going off. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope 3 cuts the Nuggets deficit down. It's a 5-point game down the stretch, and then Embiid decides to put Jokic and the Nuggets away for good. A 47-point season-high 18-rebound night for Embiid, whose Sixers get a monster win over the Nuggets and improve to 32-16 on the season. It's their 7th straight win. 126-119 your final. Jordan Clarkson and the Utah Jazz welcome in Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, Saturday night hoops got really competitive really quickly between these two teams. How about James Harden finding Joel for 3? And at the half, it's the Sixers by 10. No need to waste your time. Y'all know you're on your grind. We go right to the second half where Jordan Clarkson and Talen Horton-Tucker put in some work. Jazz closing in on the Sixers. Clarkson, another floater. He's been so good. His first year starting in Utah following the Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert trades. Harden's been good his entire career. The bearded one had an 18-point fourth quarter. He was lining them up, and give him credit, he was knocking them down. Harden, oh, this looking like Houston James Harden. That's nasty. Sixers back up by 5. Trying to put Utah away in Salt Lake City. That's never easy, especially with Clarkson doing stuff like that. 3 of his 38 points. Jazz down by 5. Look around. It's Clarkson at the top of the key, which means Clarkson is open and about to knock down a 3. 2-point game, 2:30 to go. Easy pass from Harden. He had 11 assists. over to Shake Melton, who's talking his noise as he goes back down court after a big-time bucket. Oh, reliable. How about Mike Conley responding with a 3 of his own? Utah loving what they see. It's a 1-point game down the stretch. Look at this tip in by Walker Kessler. Looks like the Jazz have found them a new big of the future. He had a double-double in this one. And then there's Clarkson again. 1-point game. Who you gonna call on? Harden had the high hand in the fourth, but the Sixers go to their superstar, and it's Embiid delivering with the go-ahead bucket. He had 30. Jazz been in a lot of tight games this year. They need a bucket. Down 1 with 6 seconds to go. Clarkson shoots it over the goal, and it's Philly holding on by the thinnest of hairs to beat the Jazz 118-117. No James Harden, no problem for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid and the Sixers are in San Francisco to take on your reigning Finals MVP, Steph Curry, and the NBA champion Golden State Warriors. Curry, beautiful cut to get a quick deuce. Joel Embiid was just a man amongst boys in this basketball game. The reality is the Warriors don't have anybody that could deal with a guy like that. It's just the truth. Jordan Poole, though, was in his bag in this one as he knocks in the 3. More on Jordan as this game nears its end. But first things first, let's show some respect to Embiid and his passing ability. He finds Tobias Harris for 3. Other end, it's Klay Thompson with a 3 of his own. We're in the second half now, and Embiid still putting in work. It's going to notch his 12th 40-point game of the season, but the Sixers are in a dogfight here with GSW. Thompson, another tray ball is good. Embiid responds. Philly's back up a deuce. We shall take this thing to the end of the third, where Tyrese Maxey gets the 3-pointer to roll in. Could Philadelphia really pull this off on the road without James Harden? The answer is no, because Jordan Poole had a fourth quarter to remember. Other end, look at this move from Embiid. That is just ridiculous. 2 of his 46 points and 9 rebounds. Also had 8 assists. Thompson's gonna ring in a 3-pointer, but in the fourth, it was the Jordan Poole show. How about 19 points in the fourth, 33 in the game for Jordan Poole, the Warriors' secret weapon. Golden State's now up by 5 and looking to close this one out. Good thing is they got a chef that can do just that. It's Curry, who also had 29 points. Warriors get a game that they just couldn't afford to lose to the Philadelphia 76ers, who didn't have Harden. GSW wins by 8. Joel Embiid, you're about to marvel in his greatness. Another big night for the big fella in white. Philadelphia 76ers hosting the Charlotte Hornets. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening belonged to the big fella, Joel Embiid. He got some help, though. How about Montrezl Harrell with the big-time block on Terry Rozier? Terry had 29 points, but he didn't get to 31 in large part due to Montrezl Harrell's big block. Kelly Oubre, grown man deuce. It's little boy day tomorrow. The Hornets take the early lead. Here comes Philadelphia. Tobias Harris looking and finding Joel Embiid. That's a pretty good idea. And this time around, Harris is going to keep it himself, get the deuce plus the foul. Sixers in the midst of a run. They're up 7 here as we close out the second quarter. How about Harden with the no-look bounce pass to Embiid, who throws it down in Oubre's grill. Joel Embiid's night was just getting started. Third quarter we go. Sixers up by 10. Rozier, no, a couple times over. He'll finally get it to go. Hornets hanging around in Philly. But that hanging wouldn't be for so long because Joel Embiid would take over the third quarter. With jump shot after jump shot, Embiid pulling up like a guard, but he's like 7 feet 2 inches tall. Embiid going to work. Harden had 19 points, 16 assists, in large part due to this big fella's great play. Just get the ball to Joel Embiid, and he knows what to do with it. 53 points for Embiid, 12 rebounds. Most importantly, he helps his Sixers squad get a victory by 18. Really good game to kick us off post All-Star break. As Mac McClung rings the inaugural bell, it's Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers taking on Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. First quarter wasn't about Ja nor Embiid. It was about Desmond Bane of the Grizzlies. Bane lining them up and knocking them down. Memphis already up 13 as Bane goes coast to coast to close out quarter number one. How about 18 points for Bane? Memphis up big early. They lead by as many as 17. Look at the block from Jaren Jackson on Embiid. It's Brandon Clark to Roddy for the throwdown. Defense leading the offense for the Grizzlies. Jackson made a play on defense. Now he's making a unreal play on offense to beat the first half buzzer. It's Jackson just flinging it and scoring. More defense from Memphis in the third quarter. Morant with the steal. Who's stopping that? Grizzlies still holding on to a double-digit lead. How about Morant, the no-look pass to Santi Aldama, who kinda dunks it down. Memphis up by 9, midway through the fourth. Here comes Harden and the Sixers. Tobias Harris and the bearded one knock down threes, and just like that, the Sixers are down a point. Memphis still clinging to some momentum. How about Bane? No. Jaren Jackson, yes, on the left-handed putback jam. Memphis up 104-100. It's Harden, the three. He had a game-high 31 points. Memphis trying to extend their lead that's starting to dwindle down. Joel Embiid with the man block on Morant. Other end, it's Harris giving the Sixers their first lead since 7-6. They're up a point. Morant's gonna miss. Look at the hustle from Harden. The dish to Embiid. The Sixers are up by 3. They're all pumped up in Philadelphia. Last chance for the Grizzlies. Bane, your best shooter, gets a couple of good looks. Neither fall. How about the hustle from DB? In a corner to Jackson, who gets a look. It's no good. And the Sixers in this game on a 10-1 run to complete the comeback. They beat the Grizzlies 110-105. A night to remember for the big fella in white, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers hosting the very competitive this season thus far Utah Jazz. But this night was all about Joel Embiid. In the opening quarter, Embiid dropped 13 points. You're like, okay, we've seen that before. Embiid wasn't done just yet, though. Joel, some nice passes. More on his dimes in a second. Joel Embiid knocking down the tray ball. At the half, Embiid had 24, 4, and 4. You're like, okay, we've seen something like that before from Joel Embiid. He's a great player. You never seen anything like this. Trust and believe it's coming. Embiid with a dime. He had 8 assists in this game. Joel Embiid, another dime inside. This is a tight game here. Jazz leading by 2 in the fourth. No, they're not. Joel Embiid would score the first 12 in the fourth. He also had a career high 7 blocks. Embiid putting the Sixers up by 3. He's the first player ever to drop at least 55 points and 7 blocks. Since they started recording blocks, we've never seen a stat line like that. So yes, that means Joel Embiid had over 55 points. The big fella going to work on both ends of the court. Colin Sexton looking to make this a 1-point game. It's Joel Embiid giving it everything he's got for his team. And when it's winning time, it's Joel Embiid, a career-high 59 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 blocks. Woo, what a game from Joel Embiid as his Sixers win by 7. A fun one from the city of brotherly love. It's Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers hosting Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland trying to get back into the play-in tournament. Damian Lillard and the Blazers would strike first. They take a 14-point lead. But here comes the big fella. Yeah, if you're not going to guard him, he's just going to make layups and shoot free throw line jump shots. Embiid, back to business. Still trying to make that case for MVP. Anthony Simons was making his case that he's an absolute bucket getter in this league. How about Simons? 8 3-pointers, lining them up and knocking them down. He wasn't alone. Jeremy Grant over Embiid out the corner for 3. And just like that, the Blazers are up 21 points. Let's fast forward you to where this one got really good. It's Simons again knocking in the 3 with his 34 points. Here comes the Sixers, though. It's Embiid. The spin and throwdown. DeAnthony Melton out the corner. That 3 cuts the Sixers deficit down to 5. Here's Harden. A big-time three-pointer. He had 19, 9, and 8. The Sixers are right where they want to be. Game time usually means game time. That jump shot puts the Blazers up by 2. 60 seconds to go. Is Tyrese Maxey responding? How about Yusuf Nurkic? And 1. Blazers back up by 3. It'll be a 1-point game with 7 seconds to go. Philly astutely puts all shooters in the game around Embiid, and Joel gets the one-on-one matchup to his liking and buries the Portland Trail Blazers with a second to go with a go-ahead jumper. And it's not just a go-ahead, it's going to be the game winner because DeAnthony Melton put some really good clamps on Dame on the final possession, just followed him and would not let Dame get a clean look off. That is not an easy job, a guy of Dame's caliber. The Sixers come back to win a fun one, 120-119. Yeah, man, it's my privilege and my honor to be able to do highlights of Joel Embiid night in, night out of the season just because this dude, he's brought his A game. Remember when he was getting called out by guys like Shaq and Chuck for just not playing hard? Those days are over. This dude plays hard. And Joel Embiid seemingly is as healthy as he's ever been going into a playoff run. I'm looking forward to seeing what this dude can do with this group of Philadelphia 76ers. Now with James Harden and Tyrese Maxey being together with Embiid for a year now in that starting lineup. All right, y'all let me know what y'all think about Embiid's greatest games from the 22-23 season. I'm your boy, Hoops Pharaoh. If you have not done so, I want you to do 3 things before you get on out of here, all right? If you at this point in the video, you clearly either were entertained or really turned off to the point where you still have to watch the whole video by something I said or edited in this video. So why not just go ahead and make this partnership, this relationship, this bromance official? Hit your boy with a subscribe. Make sure you like the video and then drop a comment. Let me know what was your favorite game from Joel Embiid in the 22-23 season. That's the way this platform grows. It's truly an honor to serve you, and I continue to do it, and I will do it going forward. All right, with your help. Time, love, and support is what your boy would never take for granted. Salute. I'm out.